I'm Bob Patton. I'm sort of one of the founders, the family founders of Green Meadows Farm. I'm currently chairman. I was CEO for the first few years, and then they kicked me upstairs where I could do less harm and maybe tell our story a little bit.
And I'm Rob Patton. I'm Chief Marketing Officer here at Green Meadows. So I oversee all of our marketing execution as well as our sales. So retail sales at our dispensary in Southbridge, soon to be our second dispensary in Fitchburg, as well as our wholesale efforts across the state.
Really happy to be here and to tell you the story of this operation that we put together. It really begins with land and a sort of value system that built around it. When my father retired as a Major General in 1980, 34 years of service, Korea, many tours in Vietnam, he himself being the son of the famous World War II General George S. Patton. Accidents of birth, but we're certainly proud of the heritage. My father, on retirement, took what it was going to be sort of a retirement home with lands that his father had, and said, he wasn't one to put his feet up and do nothing. So he immediately set about creating a farm on a country road where it was located up north of Boston. Initially, you pick 'em strawberries and blueberries, moved into traditional produce, built a farm stand. And then, of all things, this conservative old military guy became really enamored of green sensitivities and environmental sustainability, all those things that we all believe in, and built that into his idea of the farms. So that's where we began. In Massachusetts, one has to be vertically integrated with the dispensary. So naturally, we found we're in the dispensary business as well. That brought us to Southbridge as a dispensary location. When we decided that it really wasn't the best place up north of Boston to do our farm, we brought the whole operation to Southbridge. They welcomed us with open arms. So now we are licensed in both the medical and adult use spaces as a cultivator, manufacturer, and retailer/dispenser. Proud to be there, supporting vets in what we do, whether in employment or helping with support research, long-term pain substitutes for opioid. We all love that because opioids, of course, are horrific. And again, so we're really proud to be in this space as a business, hoping to do good and also to do well as a company, of course.
Veterans, of course, with the family legacy is always kind of core to the mission of what we're doing. So that started actually with employment here at Green Meadows, right? So we have a commitment to the town that at least 7% of our staff will be veterans at all times. Happy to say that I think we're just under 75 employees right now. We're actually at about 15% of our staff are veterans. And so that's been huge, right? And veterans are the perfect kind of population or audience that we want to engage with, not only for cannabis and all the medicinal reasons behind it, but also because veterans need jobs once they get out of the military, right? They're one of the most underserved populations back in the States. Another thing that we do is locally, there's a foundation called Nick Perry's House. It's a transitional home for veterans that just get out of the service or coming back into civilian life. So we're on the board of Nick Perry's House, and it's a house where veterans are given a home to live until they're able to get back on their feet.
It gives them a fixed address from which to say launch their job search or whatever, and we're really proud to do that. I feel very strongly, having come of age after Vietnam, when vets were really mistreated in terms of how they were sort of associated en masse with that very difficult and controversial war, and it was taken out on them. I think nowadays, no matter our politics, we see vets in uniform and hear their stories, we embrace them because they do it for all of us. And so that's something that I'm really proud to see exemplified in Green Meadows.
We're coming to market with one of the most aggressive discounts for veterans in the state of Massachusetts. So it'll be 30% every single day for veterans that have their medical card, and then 40% twice a month on the 11th to relate to Veterans Day, and then on the 22nd. So the 11th and 22nd of every month, the 22nd because there's unfortunately a stat, currently 22 veterans a day are committing suicide after getting out of service. So we want to draw attention to these issues and support our veterans any way we can. We've created our first brand of products from under the Green Meadows label. It's called the General's Aid. So it does kind of harken back to the military and the aid to camp that many generals in the military have. The General's Aid line of products that we offer, a portion of proceeds from all sales of those products goes to veteran-supported charities directly every single quarter. The family has given and whether it's time or money to these charities for generations now. We're continuing to do the same at the new Green Meadows here in Southbridge.
We have serious combat veterans on our staff. And when I go by them and we chat, and I'm Bob to them, and as I leave them for the day, thank you for your service. They're modest about it. They, God knows what memories go with it, good and bad. But I think it lands with a sense of, even though they modestly say, "Oh shucks," it matters to them and they appreciate it.
So the goal for us is education and awareness, but not only about us as a company and a cannabis company, but us as, what our mission and our values are as well.
We really do at Green Meadows try to lead with our heart. Obviously, it's a business, and it's a highly regulated, properly so business. But we do put our heart in our sleeve as to what we want to try to do for our community. Veterans, obviously, top of the list.
So we see Leaf Trade as a valuable partner to us to expand not only our brand and our story with other dispensaries, but also other consumers and patients in the state of Massachusetts. Having our full menu out there, or being able to browse others and see what else is being brought to market. So I see it as a partnership tool. I see it as a competitive tool. So there's a lot of different ways in which an organization like Green Meadows can leverage Leaf Trade, and we plan to do so to the fullest extent.
Let me say this about Leaf Trade too, from the chairman's point of view, quote unquote. Operations is Rob and two of my other sons. I look down and I say, Leaf Trade is interested in us and our values and our history and where do we come from, as well as what we can purvey and with your help, bring to market. So I really appreciate that you want to know what's behind sort of the curtain, so to speak, and to know that we really do try to be as sincere and as true as we like to think we are. And I appreciate your interest in that side of what we do.